Alright, Assalamualaikum, good morning, good afternoon, good evening or good night whenever you're accessing this video. My name is Johari and I'm going to be the lecturer for this particular course, TMN4133 System Programming. Due to a lot of public holidays on Monday, I'll create this video for the introduction to this course so that we don't have to actually repeat the lecture or conduct replacement class. So this is going to be a short video. This particular video is just to introduce to the overall overview of this course, and later for the second video we will continue on the introduction to system programming itself. So welcome to this course, TMN4133 System Programming, and the code for this is TMN4133. Make sure you register for the right code. I don't think there's anybody that haven't done TMN3053, which is the previous code for the old structure. And there are two courses as a prerequisite. One is CCN and the other one is ITP, which I'm sure all of you have taken during your first year. But just double check to make sure that you actually have done both these courses and have passed these courses. Now, what is this course all about actually? You can read all those things, but the essence of this course is purely a programming subject. So if you don't like programming, then you might have hard time in this course, but what I will do is to try my best to ensure that you can get through this course and hopefully you will end up liking programming or even love programming. So system programming, basically what this course provides is actually a high level system programming and network programming. It used to be focused on network programming since we offered only to network students, but now we have both software engineering and network students taking this subject. So we have reduced the network programming part, only one section towards the end of the lecture or course. And what we focus now is actually to look at system level programming as compared to high level application level programming that we did for your ITP in first year. And what we will cover include system calls. So that's the heart of this subject. That's how we call it system programming. File I/O, files and directory, memory management, process control, and so on. And as usual, this course includes assignment, project, lab report, and written exam as well. So the learning outcome by the end of this course, what we expect for you to be able to achieve is first to discover system level component and its functions. Second is to explain the function of common system call. There are probably around 45 to 50 system calls that you will go through in this course. And then understanding and knowing the system call, you are able to construct, which is to write low-level program using system programming language, which is C language. And you should be able also to solve problems given using appropriate system calls. So these are the LO for this course. So as usual, we have 14 weeks. Now we are going to week 2. There is no tutorial for this course. There will be lab session 2 hours, and hopefully we can start our lab session in week 4 or week 3. I will confirm that later. And at the same time, the lab slot we will discuss in our next meeting, or we'll post in Elite as well for you to decide what is the best slot for the lab session. And as I mentioned, you need some time to actually complete your tests, quizzes, assignment, and so on. Now, this is our schedule for this particular semester. We're going to have 2 lectures. One is on Monday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at Multimedia Lab 1. So it's a 2-hour lectures. And that is a mistake actually. It's not Thursday, so it should be Tuesday. The next lecture is actually on Tuesday. Just a 1-hour lecture from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I know it's very early, but somehow we have to use this as well. But basically what I plan to do for Tuesday slot, the 1-hour slot at Multimedia Lab 1, MM1, if we need this slot, then we will use it. So I will confirm with you from time to time whether you're going to need this slot. So basically the idea is we're going to have 2-hour lectures every Monday. And if we need additional time, either for discussion, to discuss project and labs and so on, we can use the 1 hour slot on Tuesday. Now, lab is very important. It's a practical course. It's not a theory course. So the lab will definitely help you with understanding a lot of theories that we discuss in lectures. And I really suggest that you attend the lab session. My practice for lecture and lab attendance is actually very simple. I don't believe in attendance, to be honest. I think all of you are going towards the end of your study, either in year 3 or year 4. And I believe you are all adults. I treat you as an adult. And there are a lot of students that I believe probably do not need to attend lecture session. You can download the lecture note from Elite. You can go through the lecture note yourself, and so on. So some students can actually do that. But the bulk of you probably can benefit from going to lecture and lab session to listen to some explanation which is not available from the lecture note, and also interaction with me and interaction with your colleague or your friends as well. Unfortunately, if I'm not mistaken, starting this semester, the 80% rules will be linked to the attendance. All this while is there, but now since we are using QR code, it's actually very easy for the system to bar you from attending final exam if your attendance is less than 80%, which applies to all subjects. But again, my personal opinion about this, I don't believe in attendance. If you feel that you can go through the content on your own at the leisure of your own time and maybe lying on the bed in your room, I think that's fine. But if you need help, you can go to the lab session and get help either from the lab demo or from myself if I go there from time to time, or you can go through yourself the lab exercise as well. There'll be marks for lab exercise which I will explain later. So as I mentioned, the tentative for lab session is probably will start in week 4. Just wait for the notice and announcement either from Elite or from the WhatsApp group. So this is again something very important. Based on previous track record, I've been teaching this subject or this course for the past, I would say 7 years, 6 years. So almost every semester, so almost 12 semesters already. And based on my experience, not difficult to fail and quite easy to get an A if you go through all the assessment and so on. Now the key is actually for the continuous assessment, which is assignment, project and lab. That is probably the component that will determine whether you get an A or A minus or you will fail the course. Again, based on experience, midterm and final can be quite tough, and a lot of students probably didn't do well in that, but for various reasons. Not because it's difficult, but because they probably don't attend the lectures and don't pay attention and so on. Coming back to lecture, I think another thing which is important for lecture, probably not just for my course of my subject, that lecturers always give tip during lectures about what's coming out in exam, either midterm or final. So that's again, I think it's very important. Of course, you can ask your friend, but usually the information will not be the same. By the time your friend actually told you about certain things, it might be diluted by 50% or even less than that, and it wouldn't be accurate at all. So there'll be assignment, either one assignment or two assignment, we will decide later. Assignment will be individual, meaning that you will do that on your own. It's going to be programming assignment, since this is a programming subject. There'll be a project, and this is going to be a group project, maximum 4 students per group. So you can probably start forming your group from now. Assignment, I will release the question in week 3, and project probably in week 6 or week 7, just before your midterm break. And as I mentioned, for your lab exercise, every lab there'll be some exercise where you have to go through either on your own or with the help of your lab demo. And what we need you to do at the end of the semester, you need to submit a report about the exercises that you have attempted in each of the individual lab sessions. It is actually a free mark because as long as you have done the lab exercise, you compile it into a report and you submit, and there is a very high probability you will get 2 marks, which is 5%. Midterm, as usual, is written 20%, and final exam is actually 40%. There might be changes in terms of final exam because this subject has been included to be what we call as non-written final exam. So for the final exam, there is a probability that you're going to have 30% written final exam as usual and 10% final programming exam. So you will sit in front of a computer, it will give you question or a set of questions which you have to complete in probably 2 to 3 hours time. But it's actually a programming final exam. So I will confirm about this later in this course about the final exam or the non-written final exam. So just to summarize the assessment, we have one assignment, individual 50%. We have one group project, 20%, which include presentation as well. We have one lab report towards the end of the semester, 5%. We have midterm, usually before the midterm break, 20%. And finally, final exam, which is 40%. Now, the key to get high marks or probably to be able to get a high carry mark is to go through your assignment, project, lab report in the following manners. And this applies not only for this subject, but for all the other subject or courses that you take or going to take in the future. Probably you have heard about this. Now, the thing about assessment, assignment, project, and lab report, this is something what I would say what the lecturer wants. Now, if you look at midterm and final exam, that is what you know. So you study, you put things into your head, and you go for exam, you sit down and you write what you know and answer the question. Nobody else can help you during that time. It's between you and yourself. Now, the thing about assignment, project, and lab exercise, that is what the lecturer wants. So when we come up with assignment specification, you go through the assignment specification. A lot of students made a mistake. First, as usual, you will start very late. So let's say I give you the assignment in week 3 or week 4 and give you 4 weeks to complete the assignment. As usual, a lot of students will probably wait until week 3 just to download the question and then wait for another week to probably read the question. And by the time you finish reading the question, you have only 3 days or 4 days to submit. And logically, that will not probably give you a lot of high marks actually. So the best thing to do, let's say you're given 4 weeks to do assignment 1, immediately when the assignment is released, you download the assignment and then maybe you can go through quickly about the assignment. Probably you don't understand anything about it, but you have to go and read many times. Now the next thing is of course to try to solve the problems given in the assignment, and sometimes most assignments have task 1, task 2, task 3 broken down into smaller problems or questions. Now the thing that you need to do, you try to answer as much as possible, and the most important thing about assessment is try to see your lecturer, either make appointment to see him or her or me, and then you show what you have done. I know it's not easy sometimes to see lecturer. Sometimes you email them, they never answer. You email second time, you never answer. And sometimes you wait outside the door, they never appear and so on. But you have to try. Because what is important, you have to show what you have done. And then hopefully the lecturer will give feedback. So probably it's 15%. You have done a part of it and the lecturer will tell you either, okay, you have done a good job. You have answered all the questions properly. Or probably often that they will tell you that it's not enough. So this is what you did wrong and this is what you need to do to improve your answer. And then you go back, you improve, you find more solution or answer, and then try to go back again and see your lecturer until that lecturer tells you it's enough and tells you that based on your final report, then most likely you will get the full mark. So that's the thing that you have to do. It's not easy, and a lot of students, what they do, they answer the assignment. They think that they have provided the correct answer, and they submitted the assignment, project, exercise, and so on. And when they get back the marks, they will get 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 15, and so on. and they were surprised. But nothing to be surprised actually. As I said, assignment or assessment are something very subjective. That's what the lecturer wants. So most of the time, what you think is the right answer is probably not what the lecturer wants from you, even though the specification is given, but in most cases, it's probably not what the lecturer wants. So it's very, very important for you to approach the lecturer and try to get feedback about your answer so that you can be sure that the marks that you get is as high as possible. So just imagine if we have 15 plus 5, 20, assignment 15 plus lab report 20, and then project is 40. So I think what you should target is to get at least 35 out of 40 for those assessments. And then midterm, I say worst case scenario, you get 10. So 35 plus 10 is 45. And then final exam, worst case scenario is half, 20. So total is 65, and that is B. So B is 3.0, and I think that is the minimum that you should target for any courses that you take. So that's the key actually. That's the key. So what is your target? As I said, in the past, there are a lot of students that get A. So far, for the past 12 semesters, I think only 3 or 4 that actually fail this course. Not because they are not smart, not because the subject is difficult, but they don't attend lectures, they don't submit assignment, and so on. So as long as you do all what is required, submit the assessment, sit for exam, and so on, it's almost impossible to fail the course. Study guide, what I will do, I will come up with a study guide, meaning that week 1 what we will do, week 2 what we will do, and so on. So hopefully I will upload the study guide by Monday or Tuesday. So please refer to the study guide for you to sort of guide you with your study for this subject. References, you don't have to purchase any textbook. I got the material from various sources. You can find any of these references online, the content. The book itself, you can go to our library online portal, guys. There are 2 online ebook portal under KAIS that we subscribe. One is 24/7 and another one is Safari O'Reilly online book service. So you can find all these textbooks from those online portal, Linux Programming Interface, GNU or GNU Linux Application Programming, and so on. And the basic is actually C. So if you have your C textbook from your first year, then you can definitely use that. But I think the key is anything that you want to know for this course is either available online. You can always Google about it, and you don't have to purchase any textbook. For the lab itself, we're probably going to use open source lab, lower ground floor, block A, which is next to the Unix lab. And for the software that you can use, you can start from 13.04 Ubuntu Server Edition LTS, and you can go up to currently, I think the latest one is 18.04, which is the server edition. I will probably explain in detail about the software and the operating system, what you need to use in another video or probably during lab session or lecture session. But the key is we are going to use Linux. If you are more familiar with other Linux distribution like Fedora and so on, you are free to use it as long as you can actually do C programming on those distribution or platform. But we're going to use Ubuntu in our lab, and also in all the examples, we're going to use Ubuntu as well. All the teaching material, as usual, available from eLib. So check eLib from time to time, because I'm going to put some activities which contribute to marks as well, such as quiz, online quiz, and some other activity as well. So check eLib from time to time. We're going to create a WhatsApp group as well, so just watch out for that. So WhatsApp group is another medium for communication. I don't think I need to create a Facebook group. I think WhatsApp should be sufficient. And our number is probably less than 60 for this particular semester for network student. My mobile is here. You are free to contact me through mobile anytime throughout the day. My office currently at admin office level 3. And you can also contact me through emails. My primary email is my Gmail, jory.abdullah@gmail.com. and my Unimas email is also stated there. But you can contact me through Gmail. It's easier that way, or you can WhatsApp me. That is probably the fastest way. If you need to see me, either individual or in group, try to make an appointment with me. Sometimes I can be quite busy, so we might have to meet after office hour and so on. And again, about rules in class, I again not very particular about rules and regulation. Similar with what you wear as well. I think the essence is I treat you as an adult. As long as you don't make noise and disturb other people in lecture, that should be alright. You are free to do anything else during the lecture. So that's it for this one. So again, just to recap, this is TMN4133 system programming, and this is just an introduction to the course, just the basic introduction. And the reason why I create this lecture video is because we have a lot of holidays on Monday, and our lecture is actually on Monday from 10 to 12. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video or during lecture session.